23 years ago, Danielle was a beautiful baby. I can say that not just because I'm her dad, but because she actually won a beauty contest. Now, as Danielle knows, this particular photograph doesn't tell the whole story. And if there had been other awards available that day, she would have certainly won the prize for the smelliest nappy. The actual event occurred just a few moments before this particular photograph was taken. And to get her into the perfect pose took a long, long time. I believe the photographer's still seeking psychiatric help, actually. I can still smell it myself. Anyway. One of the things that strikes me about Danielle is her adaptability. As the natural little actress she is, she was always very good at picking up accents. So whether we were in America visiting family or she was meeting new friends on holiday, she would pick up an accent very quickly. This only became a problem when we moved to Colchester and she perfected the Essex accent, which I was worried she would never shake off. But while she was in Essex, it only took a few months in the comprehensive school she was in to become the assistant head girl. And then when we returned to Dorset and she went to sixth form, she was made deputy head girl. And this tells you a lot about the character of the woman. She likes to be in charge. And those of you who know her well know that she does have her own mind. She's quite strong-willed as an individual. And at a very young age, she used to know exactly what she wanted, and she would talk to it, and she would say, "Wani." Well, she had to grow up very, very quickly when, at the tender age of 6, she was diagnosed as a insulin-dependent diabetic. And although I know it could have been a lot worse, administering some of those early injections broke my heart. But Danielle was so brave, and she's always had a fantastic attitude to life. And even at a young age, when we were on holiday, she used to sing Cliff Richard's Summer Holiday to us every day. And although she went through a fairly difficult time when she was about 18, we went to a club on her 18th birthday, and she kept coming up to me all the time and saying, "Dad, you only get one life." She'd come back again and she'd say, "Dad, you only live once." Going down, she'd come back. I remember my first drink. but seriously, it wasn't. But seriously, I don't know any other individual in this world who can lighten up a darkened room like she can. She's got so much life and energy in her, and I'm so proud of you. I'll get to that bit in a minute. And I know I speak on behalf of your mum when I say how proud we both are of the beautiful, intelligent, charismatic, caring young woman you've become. I am very proud to be Danielle's dad. She's the most precious thing I could ever give away. Now that I've given her away, I'm glad. I've given her away to such a great price. And that takes me to the difficult part of my speech, which traditionally, as you will know, the father of the bride is supposed to offer a few words of wisdom about marriage. Those of you who know me well will know that I'm not necessarily best placed to offer advice about marriage. However, my experiences have taught me a lot, and maybe that puts me in a fairly strong position to offer a little bit of advice. What I do know is this. For me personally, marriage has given me two beautiful daughters, Danielle and Phoebe.
I agree with that one.
I'd have it no other way.
Not me.
I've also gained... You speak Chisness.
He said, who speaks
But I've also gained a wonderful
Who
son.
speaks this?
I also know that I've got pretty good instincts, and I know these two complement each other perfectly.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to give you some advice, I'd say this. Put each other first. And don't be afraid to be a bit selfish from time to time if it works for you. Have your own individual interests. And if that means allowing your husband to have a Dr. Sonic screwdriver, then so be it. However, Ryan, you won't find yours at the moment. It's in safe hands, and I promise Danny I will keep hold of it until at least after the honeymoon. You don't want to be having any distractions whilst you're away from this thing. It does apparently it can be used to detect aliens. You're all right, darling. I've tested it. It's fine. But there are one or two in the room. So,
one just left.
So have your own individual interests, but don't lose sight of your shared goals as a couple. And finally, I'd say, just by looking around this room today, I can tell that you bring joy to the lives of many people. Don't be afraid. You've got a fantastic family. You've got some wonderful friends. Don't be afraid to lean on them from time to time and ask for advice. Okay? So all that remains for me, ladies and gentlemen, is to say have a fantastic day. Please be upstanding and join me in a toast for the bride and groom. Two fantastic individuals, now officially an awesome couple. I give you Mr. and Mrs. Brio.
It was a Freudian slip, but Ryan wants to say a few words, so up to you, Ryan.
Do you want to?
Looks like he takes off.
So, I didn't know what I had to say. I've done Owen's best man speech. Cheer, Brick. It was a great person to take advice from, so I thought, right, I'll check with Dad.
Maybe me.
I'll get the transcript for his speech. I don't have to say too much. That's Sam and Owen can do all the hard work.
Cheers, Danny.
Right. I'd have to say thank you to everyone. Thank you for everyone for coming. Everyone who's done anything, which I know is most of you, everyone in the room who's put something in. It's incredible. It's been an amazing day. Danielle, you look incredible. I'm a very lucky man.
She's a lucky girl.
Is she like?
Don't get jealous.
Claire, I want to say thank you for everything you said, although I did sense a thinly veiled, take her, she's yours.
It wasn't fun at all.
I made the promises in there now, and I think I'm hungry back. Thank you to you and to Val, how you brought her up, be a royal pain in my ass. I wouldn't have her any other way. Valerie, thank you for giving me a Hello, Dad. Yeah, right now. This is my part. You can talk more later. Ready to listen? I just want to say thank you for everything, for getting me here today, for making me someone who Danielle would want to spend her life with. But you're off the hook now, so if you ever need anything, if you want to know any answers, yeah, just ask her. It's easier. I can't thank you enough for what you've done for the wedding, Mum, everything that you've done, the dresses, everything else. I know Glenn was very excited to wear. And I don't just want to thank you both for today. I want to thank you for every day for today, for making me who I am. I'm very proud of you. Owen, Kerry, Holly, we don't always get on, but part of being a brio or an ex-brio is being opinionated, never expecting or accepting when you are wrong.
He's my best buddy, why? I thought to contend with now.
I know you have.
We joined together as a force.
But I was lucky enough to grow up with all three of you, have an amazing time with it, fall out, go places that were great fun, do things that people didn't get to do who haven't had a chance to have as many siblings as I've had. And I thank you all for it very much. To the bridesmaids, beyond Kerry and Holly, Christine, thank you for everything you've done. For the big,
She's just crying.
for the big sister you've been.
Nobody puts Chiefy in the corner.
Sweet.
Except you, because you seated me here.
Job done.
Thank you for everything you've done as a big sister to Danielle, even if you didn't want to lend her your books. She didn't like you.
She didn't need to do it.
She put
Oh, I did. I didn't mean it.
That's actually what she said.
Phoebe, thank you for testing every ounce of patience that I had. I think I'm a better man for it. And there's more to come, I'm sure. So my best men, Owen and Sam. I'm not going to thank you yet.
Oh, yeah.
3 comes later.
You chuck me out now if you want.
Oh yes, I forgot Jasmine as well, who
She's so little.
with a little Build-A-Bear there. You've been amazing.
Elsa Bear. No one got that one right.
Jasmine.
I got it.
Sadie got it.
Don't worry.
Hey!
Oh, there's always one like with her out of your
She's got her own space.
Sam, perpetual sidekick. Watson's my Holmes. Wozniak to my Jobs. Don't worry where this is going. We've been friends for 20 years.
Too long.
In all that time, I have been the organised and responsible one.
He wrote the speech.
I
for me,
think-
so.
It's best it stays that way.
Amen to that.
Again, if anyone else who helped to plan, or Avril for all your help, anyone who's involved, Darren, Paul. If I've forgotten you, I'm really sorry. Sabine and Robin for the flowers, Adam and Blake, one particularly my ushers. We're looking very dapper, even if Adam does have a pigeon neck. I didn't fit in this morning. I need to do a serious bit about my wife, EJ. Not anymore.
EB now.
I am the proudest of you, the person who inspires me, who deals with everything that's thrown at you, from diabetes all the way through, with all the passion that you have, with only a small degree of complaining. You put up with me, be it my constant and unnatural desire to change career, my incessant need to move every few months. You've weathered it all.
Why are you staying at my house?
I speak not only from me, from my whole family. The girl we got to know 4 years ago, the one who foolishly threw herself into a Brio family holiday,
Yes.
has come along so far, and we love you and are so proud of you. My biggest punishment for you is your surname. In a profession which will require it every day. So, with that in mind, I would like to propose a toast to Mrs. Brehout, Mrs. Brayhout, Mrs. Brout, Mrs. Beaumont, sorry, to Danielle.
Go Brehout!
Go, yeah.
Maybe like the Chuckle Brothers, yes. And Owen Brio and Sam Snook will finish off the festivities for us. And hope that we have some fun.
Here we go.
Over to you guys.
Just a triple black brick in the corner.
Brick.
I won't be having fun, so as long as you lot do. That's not a nice name for Jeff.
I beg your pardon.
So, wait a
So you're good on your knees, Owen?
So I got a couple of props. Right, well, first of all, obviously thank you to everyone for coming. I think Sam would rather you had all stayed at home.
You can all leave now if you like.
He's going to have to cope. So we kind of sat down together, we tried to work out, we did a bit of research on how to do the best man speech, what should you do, what shouldn't you do, that sort of thing. On every single website we looked at, the number one thing was don't waffle, don't ramble.
Good luck.
We haven't given you your wedding present yet.
And don't mention sofas.
So
How much damage did you do to my face?
no, don't worry, Ryan. We're trying to prevent waffling and rambling.
That was literally the best wedding ever.
I think, based on the last couple of speeches,
Watch out, everyone else wants to shout out.
Quite like
See, as Ryan finished, a couple of thank yous that we want to do, obviously, just to get that out of the way. Obviously, thanks to Ryan for choosing us both. Well, for choosing Sam, and then for Sam for flaking him and getting me involved.
I didn't want to just do it on my own. I think it was unfair on Owen, so I've done that on purpose.
We've also, both of us, got to give a massive thanks to Adam, because he sorted the stag do.
Yeah.
So
we got very
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. We got to see a few things. We went to the West Country. Now, we all thought, for those of you who know that Ryan's quite partial to a bit of tweed, maybe a black cap or two. So there we were in the West Country. We thought, what better way to, sort of tribute to him than all wear a flat cap. So there we were on a Saturday. Everybody brought one. Who was the only person that didn't bring a flat cap? In the West Country.
Did you tell him?
You wouldn't need to, surely.
Oh my God, it'll be him.
And of course, for those who were lucky enough to witness it,
This is about Ryan. Did you mention it?
Hang on.
Tape it.
Where's that cat gone?
Watch out, Val. It's out. That come up with unexpected.
So, we also tried to think of some advice that we could give, you know, to try and help Ryan get on in married life. To start with, I've got 3 words for you. Anna.
Yes!
Kournikova. Naked. You may think this is what I think every bloke in the room is probably thinking, what an epic situation to find yourself in. How did he manage it? If only it was that good. Unfortunately, these 3 words represent a Google search which was found on the family computer, to which nobody owned up to for probably a couple of years.
Yeah.
So,
I thought it was Dad.
basically, I'm pretty sure.
It was me.
So, I'm going to read my first bit of advice, word for word. From the Start button, open Internet Explorer, click on Tools, go to Safety, and then click Delete Browsing History.
Or for a Mac, private browsing.
It's a man who knows.
My second bit of advice is to make sure you tell your family everything. Because you never know when that really annoying older brother might blurt out about the speeding points that you got. I'd like to point out, he managed to keep this a secret for so long, they have now actually fallen off his licence. And the evidence was removed, so he thought he'd got away with it. 6 points was over?
It was worse. It wasn't speeding.
Explain.
Well, either way, you never know who might blurt out such a thing. So
You're right.
Especially a trusted brother.
whilst we're on the subject of transport, I'm going to pass over to my colleague here who's going to implement the first prop. But this is a little trip down memory lane for Ryan, because some years ago when I was living at home, we reached a point where he sort of irritated me so much one afternoon, I decided to de-lock him to the banister. And we left him there probably a good couple of hours. And bearing in mind the banister was just a little bit too low for him to be able to stand up straight, so he spent 2.5 hours like that, his neck very uncomfortably tied to the banister. Your history with bike locks isn't good, is it?
No.
No. I don't know anyone else who's managed to cycle to work. You may know that Ryan lived in Oxford for a little while, and it's quite, it's big on cycling in Oxford. So a lot of people cycle to work. Most people get to cycle to work and then return home on the same bike that they went to work in. Not if you work in the same building as Ryan. He ran to work, he locked his bike, went to work, carried on. Time to leave, came out, home time, comes out, oh, where's my bike? And there's a bike with a lock, with his lock, and a note that says, I'm sorry, you appear to have locked my bike instead of your own. I've taken it, come and meet up and swap back things. I think it's pretty impressive. I dread to think what we've done on the night before that led you to the state where you managed to lock a different bike.
Right, so I want to go through the different sort of football teams Ryan has supported over the years. One of the first things, I went to visit Ryan at university for the first time when he was in Derby. And I was meeting Adam and Blakemore for the first time, and the one thing he told me was, do not tell them the football teams I have supported, because they all think I'm a die-hard Liverpool fan. Always have been, always been a Liverpool fan. We started off with Villa.
Yeah.
Villa. Pompey. Chelsea.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Chelsea for 6 months.
Yes.
Chelsea for 6 months.
Independently is verified.
Chelsea for 6 months, Adam. Adam, I hate that one. There's only others in Derby, obviously. Bournemouth, whenever we do well. Them sort of teams.
Never Spurs, obviously.
Sorry, Adam.
What?
What other things do I want to bring up? Also, yeah, Ryan's hairstyles over the years. Now, first of all, how many are there? I don't know what count. Anyone else got a count on that?
We did consider giving everyone a wig of each of his haircuts, but it's not enough guests.
We've got a few wedding photos.
We've got a few wedding photos that she's ruined. I mean, Beanin. What was that, the ginger one? Ginger fringe?
Ginger fringe.
Are you all with it?
Yeah.
Torres.
Torres.
The Torres. Now, he likes to base them on his heroes sometimes. So Torres was the obvious one. And then there's also, when he was older, the Stone Cold look. Where he shaved his head completely to look just like Stone Cold. He also he was ill, mentally. But to the point where me and Jim were sitting there and Ryan walked in the room and he just goes, "Feels weird." And we was like, what? But hey.
Head as well.
Rob Stone Cold's head in the poster. Yeah. Also, black. You went for black.
Yes.
Was that an off?
That was terrible.
Was that your goth look? Yeah, so he had fun with that one. Although he will always claim that I had the worst hairstyle in the group, which is not true. You did? No, I didn't. I had a line down my head. You did? I did that far. No. So, right, well, the last point I want to bring up is the time we went to Salou. Now, there's an evening in Salou where me and Jim had you know, thought we're having an early night. So it was me, Jim, Dave, and Ryan. Dave unfortunately can't be here. He lives in Australia now. Me and Jim decided to go home. So Dave and Ryan carried the night on. So next day we get up. Me and Jim was like, "Oh, how was your evening?" I was like, "Good." And he said, "Yeah, it was all right." We ended up going to this bar, getting our drinks. And he was like, "Oh, what happened at the bar?" And he goes, "Oh, there was a naked guy there swinging his cock around for us." And I was like, "What? What's going on?" Turned out they went to a gay bar. and more than this guy on the stage having a good time with himself. The sound of it. But I've actually spoken to my friend this week, Dave, and he actually used the words, "Ryan barged past a lot of people to get to the front of that stage."
What did you say this last week?
Yes.
Well, it's all around now, isn't it? Sorry, DJ. DB. So at this point, of them telling that story, me and Jim decided to not ask what happened the rest of the night, and we still haven't found out. So who knows? Okay, then, well, on a serious note then, I personally want to just thank Ryan. He is probably the best friend that anyone could ever have. He's been there for everything, all my downs, and I've had quite a few over the years. And even though I've been a pretty shit friend over the past year, to be honest, of getting Adam to do the stag, cheers mate. But he's still always been there for me, and I know he always will be. And as much, I really will always be there for you. And now you, it's called DB. I'll always be there for you too. So now, you know, you're there, and I can't thank you enough, mate. Honestly, for being there. Another one, sorry, maybe the last. It's an happy couple.
And I'm not going to do anything like a speech, but Ryan, I am the luckiest girl in the world, and it has been the best day, and I love you so much. So
Last prize that all are dying for is this scented candle.
So for the morning.
Demonstrate to us. So I love candles. Ryan hates them. We cover the bedroom in them. It's like all the little heart things.
English lavender is good for dispelling bad.
The winner of the candle.
I need a candle.
Oh.
We've got more than I'm worried now. I feel under a
The
lot of
next
pressure.
prize, which I think is the most coveted, is a bow tie.
If a female gets it, then and the winner of the bow tie, 122. Uncle Morley.
He's already got one!
If Valerie wins it, I'm putting the thing back in. 148. I think it might be. Nick, who's not in the room, but basically Becky. We are going on for a few photographs now, so... Oh, we need a cupcake. Let's go over a few photographs, then we'll see you downstairs.
Excellent.
Okay,
So, gather all around the kitchen.